What's up, guys? This is GC Off-Road. Today, I'm gonna be working on the Jeep again. So what I'll be working on today is my dual battery setup. Now, I did a video last year of it, showed y'all how to install it. It worked out good for a while. The weak spot in it was the relay. It had a 90 amp relay, you know, pretty standard. And for some reason, it burnt out, quit working, whatever, and just, you know, killed the system. So I went online and found these smart relays made by Switch Club. It's a smart battery isolator, 12 volt, 140 amps, so it's got a little bit higher rating for it. Has a cut on at 13.3 volts and an automatic cut off at 12.8. So when the engine's running and it's putting out more than 12.8 volts or 13.3 in this case, it'll kick on and allow the alternator to charge the first and second battery. And then when you shut the engine off and the power drops back down below that mark, it'll automatically shut the relay off, isolating the second battery from the first so one doesn't drain the other. So I'm gonna be installing this today. All right, as I said, this is a smart battery isolator with an automatic cut in and cut out. So basically what we have here is our ground wire that will just ground to the body somewhere. And then you have two leads. Now this cable right here runs from my main battery around the front grille and back over here. So this will go in one side and get bolted in. Over here, I'll run my jumper from this point over through my fuse, which is a 100 or 120 amp fuse, and it'll run up to my battery post on top of the battery, allowing it to charge. So first thing I'm gonna do is figure out where I'm gonna be mounting this new relay at. Over here on this side, I've got my aftermarket fuse box, so there's not really room. So what I'm thinking about doing is mounting it down in here against this piece of the front wall. Now you can see it fits just about perfect width-wise, and I still have about an inch or so here between the battery and the relay, so I shouldn't have any issues with it rubbing. And the cable from the main battery will fit perfectly right next to the radiator, and I route the other side out and around. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is make a little bit of a modification here. Obviously, once I put the back cover on this isolator, there's nowhere for the battery to hook to, for the cables to hook to. So what I'm going to do is take my file and make two grooves, one on each side here at an angle, so I can hook these up to it. All right. As you can see, I've got this notched out. Took a pair of pliers, grabbed it, hold of it, and bent it over, and it popped right out pretty clean. And my cable goes in like that. And then when I put the bottom cap on it, I'll be able to seal it off with some silicone or leave it alone, and it'll mount up flat. So here you can see I just got the second battery cable hooked up to it. Now on the back of this chip in here, it'll tell you second battery positive. So I hooked up the second battery cable to that one. Then up here, positive start battery. So that'll be our line that comes from the main battery over to this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it hooked up. Then we'll take the back cover, put it together, and run some self-tapping screws into this piece of sheet metal down here. All right, so off camera, I drilled my hole. I just used a sheet metal self-tapping screw. Then I lined it up with the mounting point on the smart relay, and I run one of these stainless steel screws up into it. Now inside of this, you have the back of your headlight, so you want to make sure the screws you got don't protrude too long and push the headlight out of alignment. Now, I had to move my fuse location from the fender wall. I didn't have enough wire left over to route it the way I wanted to, so I'm going to have to reroute this. So in the meantime, I'm just going to stick it out of the way. But you can see how it's mounted up. Only thing I got left to do now is put a terminal on this, find a ground location and ground it out, and then put the battery back in here and hook everything back up. All right, so I just got the ground hooked up. I ran the sheet metal screw into the metal right above the relay, and yeah, that's hooked up. I got the power hooked into the relay, and this cable runs out to my maxi fuse and up here to this terminal point. Now this battery cannot stay on here because the hood won't shut with it on. When you lower the hood down, it'll be hitting the points, sparking, and just causing issues. So I just got it in here as a placeholder so I can finish up this video. But the cable runs out, goes into this maxi fuse, back up, and into the terminal over here. And then from the terminal, I got this cable that runs over and into my relay box to power all my accessories. And then the ground just runs off right here and down under the box and gets mounted to the body. So that's how that gets hooked up. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can check me out on Facebook and Instagram at GC Off-Road.